In our relentless pursuit of happiness, we often find ourselves chasing after money, fame, and fleeting pleasures. But what if the secret to a truly meaningful life was written down over 2,000 years ago? Today, we're going to explore the ancient wisdom of Aristotle and his concept of eudaimonia, a term that goes beyond mere happiness to encompass human flourishing. What makes life meaningful? Aristotle, one of history's greatest philosophers, believed that every action we take aims at some good, but he argued that there must be a final good, one that we choose for its own sake, not as a means to something else. This ultimate good, according to Aristotle, is eudaimonia, the life well lived. In his seminal work, the Nicomachean Ethics, Aristotle wrote, "Happiness is something final and self-sufficient, and is the end of action." But what exactly did he mean by this? To understand, we need to explore the three pillars of a meaningful life that Aristotle proposed. Pillar 1. Life of pleasure. The first pillar is the life of pleasure. This is perhaps the most obvious and immediate path to happiness that many of us pursue. It involves the pursuit of bodily pleasures, good food, drink, physical comforts, and sensual experiences. However, Aristotle rejected this as the highest form of living, calling it slavish. Why? Because pleasure, while enjoyable, is fleeting. It doesn't provide lasting fulfillment. Think about it. How many times have you indulged in something pleasurable, only to feel empty or unsatisfied shortly after? This doesn't mean we should eschew pleasure entirely. Rather, Aristotle's insight was that pleasure should be a component of a good life, not its foundation. Pillar 2. The political life. The second pillar Aristotle identified is the political life. This involves the pursuit of honor, status, and civic virtue. It's about engaging in public service, moral action, and contributing to society. While nobler than pure hedonism, Aristotle still saw limitations in this path. The problem with the political life, according to Aristotle, is that it's still dependent on external validation. Your sense of worth and fulfillment is tied to the opinions and recognition of others. As Aristotle put it, the political life is noble, but not self-sufficient. It's vulnerable to the whims of public opinion and the injustices that can occur in civic life. Pillar 3. The life of philosophical contemplation. This brings us to the third and highest pillar, the life of philosophical contemplation. This is the pursuit of truth, wisdom, and reason. Aristotle believed this to be the highest form of human activity, leading to lasting fulfillment. In fact, he went so far as to say that contemplation was the closest humans could come to divine activity. But why did Aristotle place such high value on contemplation? To understand this, let's dive deeper into why the other two pillars fall short. Why pleasure alone isn't enough. Pleasure alone, while enjoyable, lacks depth. Hedonism, the pursuit of pleasure as the highest good, often leads to a sense of emptiness. We've all experienced the hollow feeling after a night of overindulgence, or the letdown after acquiring some material object we thought would make us happy. True joy, Aristotle argued, comes not from momentary pleasure but from meaningful action and growth. Why politics can't guarantee fulfillment. The political life, while more substantial than pure pleasure-seeking, has its own pitfalls. It's dependent on the opinions of others, making it vulnerable to the fickleness of public sentiment. Moreover, even the most successful political life is subject to misfortune and injustice. While it can be noble and fulfilling to serve others and contribute to society, Aristotle believed it couldn't be the ultimate source of human flourishing. Why contemplation is supreme. So why is contemplation supreme? Aristotle argued that the activity of reason is the highest good because it requires virtue, discipline, and solitude. It builds character and clarity. Unlike pleasure or political success, which can be taken away by external forces, the wisdom gained through contemplation endures. Engaging in philosophical thought and deep reflection allows us to understand ourselves and the world around us more fully. It helps us make better decisions, live more ethically, and find meaning even in difficult circumstances. As Aristotle put it, the activity of reason is the highest good. Final reflection. But what does this mean for us in 2025 and beyond? How can we apply Aristotle's ancient wisdom to our modern lives? First, It's important to recognize that Aristotle wasn't advocating for a life of pure contemplation to the exclusion of all else. Rather, he was suggesting a balance, one where contemplation takes the highest place, but where pleasure and civic engagement still play important roles. In practical terms, this might mean setting aside time each day for reflection and learning. It could involve reading philosophy, engaging in deep conversations, or simply sitting in quiet contemplation of life's big questions. It's about cultivating a habit of thinking deeply and critically about our lives and the world around us. At the same time, we shouldn't neglect the other aspects of a good life. Enjoy pleasures in moderation, savor good food, appreciate beauty, enjoy physical activities, engage in your community, contribute to society, and strive to make a positive impact on the world around you. The key is to approach all of these activities with mindfulness and purpose. Don't just seek pleasure for its own sake, but appreciate how it enriches your life. Don't pursue political or social status blindly, but engage in civic life because you genuinely want to contribute to the greater good. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, Aristotle's wisdom reminds us to look beyond the superficial measures of success that our society often promotes. True flourishing isn't about having the most money, the most followers on social media, or the most prestigious job title. It's about living a life of virtue, engaging in meaningful activities, and continually striving to understand ourselves and the world better. In the end, perhaps the most profound insight we can take from Aristotle is this: pleasure fades, status shifts, but wisdom endures. Live not for applause, but for alignment. Align your life with your deepest values and pursue knowledge and understanding. This is the path to true eudaimonia, a life well lived, a life of human flourishing. As we move forward into 2025 and beyond, let's carry this ancient wisdom with us. Let's strive not just for happiness, but for eudaimonia. Let's pursue a life of balance, enjoying pleasures, engaging in our communities, but always making time for deep thought and self-reflection. Remember, the journey to a meaningful life is ongoing. It requires constant effort and growth, but by embracing Aristotle's 3 pillars and prioritizing contemplation, we can move closer to true fulfillment and flourishing. So, as you go about your day, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself the big questions. Engage with ideas that challenge you. And above all, grow relentlessly, not just in your career or your bank account, but in your wisdom, your understanding, and your capacity for living a truly meaningful life.